Okay.
All right. These should be interesting. Some of these are maybe going to go a positive, loving way you might think, and other ones might go a different route. We'll see how it goes here. So I'm going to start off with a positive one. And to get it going, it's going to be really simple, really open-ended. Mary Jane, what is your favorite charity?
Thank you. Thank you, Table Topics Master, for that question. You guys have to know a little bit of backstory. Kyle and I work out in the gym in the morning, and he was telling me what some of his questions are, that being one of them, and I said, well, I've got to go to my desk and research, which I didn't. I had work to do. Northrop Grumman pays me to not only help out Toastmasters, but to do other stuff like support SAP. But off the top of my head, if I were to think of an organization that I really enjoy, I do a lot of things in college. They make you sign up to do soup kitchens and pick up trash. I did a few of those. I currently am a big sis for the Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Los Angeles. That's fun, but one organization I haven't yet gotten involved in that I really want to is Hands Helping Humanity. Hands Helping Humanity. And I know when Hurricane Katrina came and hit New Orleans, a lot of people went, and there's something about giving back in the way that you are physically doing something and then there's this end product. I love that one TV show where they rebuild a home. I can't remember what it's called, but it has that Ty Pennington. And at the end of it, there's something tangible. There's something that you can see all your hard work has paid off towards. So that would be the organization that I would choose, and I actually have plans to get involved with my church. Mr. Table Topics Master.
All right. Thank you, Mary Jane, for getting us started. Next one. We're going to go to Asher. Some people give financially. Other people give in their time, their effort. Do you enjoy giving back? It doesn't have to be to a charity, but do you enjoy giving back in any ways other than financially?
Giving back financially versus with your own time. That's a good question. I've seen some charities, and I was interested in helping, but they don't really have an outlet for people to contribute time. Because money is very easy to process for any charity. That, they can hire more people with that and do whatever they like. Whereas taking in volunteers can actually be a logistical problem, or at least a barrier to overcome. And as for the original question, yeah, I've volunteered for events here and there. I don't have any ongoing relationships with a charity. It's actually kind of fun to volunteer. I call it fake volunteering because you're going to these events, and if it's a fun event, it's geared towards rich people donating money. They give you free food. I went to one, it was a cancer research event, and it was just like women shopping and bringing along their boyfriends. It was one that started in New York, and it was this event where they sold clothing and cosmetics. It was ovarian cancer research, and they had an open bar. So here I'm sitting there volunteering, and I'm just drinking and eating from a buffet. So I consider that fake volunteering. But it's fun to do if you have the chance. But in general, I think it's valuable to partake in both, to contribute both financially and with your own labor.
Great job. This one's going to be a little bit of a twist. Okay. You've been giving back to your church, your local church, for years, with time and money. Your pastor drives a sweet-looking BMW. Your pastor lives in $1 million home, and your pastor never wears the same suit twice. Yet, he saves many souls and regularly is out there feeding the homeless. Are you okay with giving back to your local church? Martin.
Well, somehow I figured that I would get the question that forces me to discuss something very disputatious.
Oh.
I think that's a really tough question. On the one hand, you would think that this person's doing a lot of good, so they should be able to do whatever they need to do in order to do that good. And on the other hand, he's not setting he or she is not setting a very good example. My personal opinion would be that you should not portray that kind of lifestyle. If you're someone in a position of charity, if you're someone in a position where you're a symbol for people of how to live. And in my personal kind of faith anecdote, I guess, I actually have very strong opinions about the way the Catholic Church is run, in the sense that they have a lot of very ornate and decorative clothing and temples and various just like instruments, props, and stuff that happens, or kind of decorative items that they use throughout various ceremonies. And I think that gives a really strange message. I think especially in today's times, when we see the growing disparity between the haves and the have-nots, and that's kind of a worldwide event, not even limited to the U.S., it would actually be a much better symbol if, for instance, everything that all the priests used was made out of wood instead of gold, or instead of any metals. Just something that looks simple, something that gives people the feeling that they're going back to the roots of what faith and belief and charity is, rather than trying to show off and trying to, I don't know, portray themselves or this church as something that's above that kind of very simple thinking. So that's what I would say, and I would probably have to talk to this pastor and share my opinion. Thank you very much.
All right, we're going to do one more of the challenging ones, and then we'll get back to some funner ones. The next one is, here. You'll see people asking for money. They may have different signs that may touch you in different ways. Then there may be the guy with the sign that says, "I'm not going to lie, I just want some beer," right? You may or may not look at that and say, "Hey, I appreciate the honesty, and hey, here's a little $1 for joy for your, some joy for your day. You go buy a beer." Or you may not know what they do with your money afterwards. They may go and say they're going to use it for one thing, but use it for another, right? So ignorance can sometimes be bliss, right? There's also an approach, right, where it's, somebody just being honest, asking for help, right? There's people that say they need to catch a bus and go up to San Francisco or something, right? So what is an approach that gets you? What's something that you've seen or that would move you to donate to that person versus something else? Doug.
Kyle, thank you for that very, very simple question. I make it a habit of course, if someone's in need, whether they are worthy or not, is not my job to decide. If I can help, I help. We're all brothers and sisters, and there, for the grace of God, go I. I was out of work, 10, 12 years ago, and somebody said, "Hey, we need somebody at TRW to help us with talking to machine shops." Well, I worked in a machine shop. I can talk to those people. I can cuss in 3 languages. So none of us are really that far away from needing help. And who here can say they haven't needed help today? I've needed help today. Now, did I need money? Did I need food? Did I need shelter? No, I didn't. But I needed somebody that was an engineer to call out, yes, we need to do this, and we need to do it now. We need to do it this way. I need help. We all need help. So next time, take an example. When someone looks like they're going to hit you up for money, give it to them. It's perfectly okay. It is considered charitable as opposed to being disputatious and keeping it yourself.
All right, thank you, Doug. There's a phrase or saying called paying it forward. That's another version of giving back, right? I kind of like that version a little bit more because it's, at least for me, giving back is putting a little bit of a guilt trip on me for everything that I have and look at what people don't have. I like paying it forward, which says I'm going to start a positive change myself, and I'm going to start that and create it and give it away to somebody, regardless of my standing or comparing myself to others, right? So paying it forward can be something as simple as buying the coffee of the person behind you, right? It can be paying a toll on the toll road. I was surprised to see that paying it forward is something that's been around for a long time, that phrase. But recently it's gotten some traction. There's actually an International Pay It Forward Day, which is in April. Next year it's April 28th. And that's where everybody, will celebrate that day by doing an act of kindness. There was also a movie called Pay It Forward that came out in the year 2000. Kevin Spacey, Helen Hunt, and Haley Joel Osment. So, Damon, pay it forward. What do you think about that term? Have you ever done that for anybody before? Is there anything that you might like to do about Pay It Forward Day in the future? Damon.
Interestingly, I actually didn't know that there was a Pay It Forward Day. I do remember that. I actually remember paying it forward. It's shortly, as sad as it is, I actually witnessed that. It's shortly right after 9/11. I remember people talking about it, and everybody was actually, to the extent that they can, they wanted to do something to, help people in New York, and they're going there to donate blood and stuff. And I actually witnessed that. I was like, wow, that's a concept that I actually have heard of many times, but I actually witnessed that. To answer your question, Kyle, last week I was at church, and the pastor was talking about what do you want to be known for at the end, and at the end he actually challenges, instead of being remembered as a wealthy person, or how about being remembered as a generous person, and that actually really because I know that I'm always thinking about I'm short of money, I don't know how to make ends meet and stuff, but that's something that I've been thinking about, last week. What I do want to be known at the end to be a generous person, and I wanted to actually live that out on a day-to-day basis to the extent that I can, not aftermath of something like 9/11. So yeah, thank you, Mr.
All right, I had some long-winded questions there, so I will call it a day.